Hey, welcome to the channel. So I thought today what I try to do is what is involved in doing a service on a lawnmower, on a riding lawnmower. And we could even talk a push mower as far as that goes, And to understand that there are different levels of services, okay? You have the basic and then you have the advanced. And the way I dictate that is how often we see it. But we'll be right back. Alright, so welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, and today we're talking about how to do a service on a lawnmower, whether it be a push mower or a rider. Push mower is going to be a lot easier. You got one spark plug, you change the oil, check the blade, and take a putty knife and clean up the deck so it's good and clean. That's pretty much all you have to do with a push mower. If it's running good, driving good, if it ain't broke, don't monkey with it. So let's jump to the rider. The rider's a little bit more, all right? So we have levels of service when it comes to what we do with our customers. If I have somebody show up and they've got a lawnmower that's 5 or 6 years old and I've never seen it before, yeah, we do the full service on it to get a baseline. And does it take a little bit longer? Yes. Is it going to cost a little bit more money? Yes. But if you haven't touched that machine before, good chances are nobody's touched that machine before and has been non-service for the past 5 years. So you're going to be doing a lot of work on it no matter what you think, right? So the first thing is personal protective gear. Wear approved glasses, protect your eyes, decent pair of gloves because you're going to have bumps and bruises and stuff. And then this is what I have. We're going to be, I'm going to try to do like a video follow-up, back and forth between the lawnmower that I'm talking about and this. And I've tried to do it just with the lawnmower, and it never fails. I have a customer show up, traffic going by, it's hard for me to pull it off. So I did some still videos out there of different things that I think are important. But the bulk of it is going to be here showing you what you need. All right, so if we're doing a basic service, and we've seen that machine last year, and we did a complete service on it, the thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the oil. That's the oil filter, single cylinder spark plug. I'm going to change the fuel filter, and then I'm going to check and either blow out the air filter or replace it. This one here can be blown out. Usually an air filter will last 2 to 3 years, depending on how many hours you put on it. So what are the tools that you're going to need to accomplish the task? All right, so one of the things you're going to want to be doing is you're checking the charging system, all right? And one of these you can get at Harbor Freight. And if it doesn't have a charging amp meter built into it, you can simply put that on the positive post of the battery, the negative post of the battery, and then read where it is. It should read up in 12 good. And then when you start that unit up, it should go up to 13, 14 to be charging back from the regulator. So you want to check the charging system every time. You're going to want to have a wire brush. Make sure the posts are all clean. If it's the round posts, these are handy. You can just turn them, pop this off, and do the inside of the other. If it's the normal lawnmower battery with a 1/4 inch 5/16 bolt, these, just clean up the leads on it where it goes. All right, so you're going to need air. All right, and to do this, you can do it with just a regular, what I call a pancake compressor, but the bigger is better when it comes to this, and that is the volume of air that you're going to have, because the first thing you're going to want to do is hook up an air hose and blow that whole deck and machine down so that you got a clean workspace. And what we've done in the past and what we do on a regular basis, if it comes in and it's filthy, it's got stuff all around the engine which causes it to overheat, we'll take the pressure washer to it and clean it up with the pressure washer before we start doing anything other than cleaning the deck, because that way you want all that dry debris out, right? So you're going to need that for blowing the deck off. Then you're going to need a putty knife, and we use these as a scraper actually, and that is, you're going to take either the Mojo jack that can be had at Tractor Supply, Harbor Freight's got them, it gets underneath the front tires, lifts it up. I like the hydraulic with the safety latches on it. We had a screw one come down a few years back. I never buy another one. It came from Tractor Supply, I'll be honest with you. All right, so you're going to need a putty knife to make sure that deck is all inside of it, and it's going to be tough. I'll tell you right now, it's going to be just like tar trying to get it out. And you'll notice that on top of a lot of the lawnmowers nowadays, you'll see this nipple, and they come with this nipple attachment. That is so you can put the garden hose on it every time that you use the mower, and it cleans everything underneath the deck so that it keeps that debris from building up, right? So utilize that. And tell your customers that's what it's for. Use it. That will save them time. All right, so we've got the deck cleaned. What else are we going to need? We're going to need a compression tester. If the machine comes in non-running, we've got to have compression. If it's running and driving and doing what it's supposed to and it's in for a service, we don't hardly ever. If it starts right up and that has no issues with bogging down and stuff, I don't need to do a compression test. If I don't hear it run and it hasn't run or it's having problems running, that's the first thing I'm going to do. Feeler gauges for the valves. If you have bad compression, it could be your valves are out of adjustment, and we've seen this so often be the case, especially with the Craftsman AYPs, of them backing out and actually falling inside the valve cover. What we normally do is, unless it's a problem, we'll adjust the valves every 2 years on our customers. Not every year, every 2 years, put a new valve cover gasket on it, seal it up, and they're good to go. So you're going to want feeler gauges to do that with. Okay, so we're going to need an oil wrench to get the oil filter off, right? Seems pretty simple. They come in all shapes and sizes, whatever works for you. We've got the handle one, that you got the claw, that works well. You're going to want something that you can put air in the tires and then check the air pressure. And it says right on the tires how many PSI to put in those tires. So you want to get them up where they're supposed to be. This gauge is handy from Harbor Freight. You hook it right up and you pump the air in, let it off, and it'll tell you how many pounds are in that tire. So this is nice to have. Again, not a lot of money. Grease gun. This is a battery operated, but we have both here at the shop. You're going to use it for the spindles up front, the spindles on the deck, and any place else that there's a grease fitting. You know, a little bit of this saves a lot of money on repairs, and especially on your irons when you're trying to turn lawnmower. Fuel shut off. If you haven't got one already in the system, put one in it. I don't care that you got, you haven't had any problems in the past, this and that. What we do is we put one in automatically. If we don't have one on a customer, even with a brand new mower, we'll put one in. And what we suggest to you and to our customers is, if it's going to sit for extended periods of time, take and shut the fuel off by using this and let the engine die on its own, so that it takes all the fuel out of the carburetor and it's nice and dry in there for the following time you just want to start it back up. If you're using it once a week, don't worry about it. But when you get ready to store it in the fall for the winter months, make sure you have this in, make sure you use it. And I recommend PRI-G, which is a fuel treatment. You don't need a lot. You can get this on Amazon, and you don't need something this size. They come in small bottles that will handle 30, 40 gallons. I bought this because we run it through everything now, other than diesels. Of course, you're going to need synthetic oil. I run synthetic oil in every one of my machines that comes through here, whether it's a farm tractor or it's a lawnmower. We're running synthetic. There's no sense in having all these different brands and different weights and everything else. Just run the synthetic. It's for what little bit more it is we're already hearing and seeing that it extends the life of that engine. You're going to want somehow to get the spark plug out. So that's where you're going to use this. A lot of times your socket sets that are 1/2 inch, 3/8 drive will come with a spark plug tool. You know, it hasn't got to be anything fancy, just something that you can take and get the spark plug out and replace it with a new one, okay? Why do we replace, I know, Jason, you're going to tell me some 20-year-old plug and stuff, and I hear you, and I understand it. You know, and for my own machine, I'm not as critical, but when it comes to our stamp on something going out of the shop, and I know, Jason, you are 100% the same. You want it great every time. Not good, great. And that's where you want to be, because, you know, we've talked about you're only as good as your last job. That's what's going to happen here. If you forget to add the oil in or you do something to a customer's machine, not good. If you're a do-it-yourselfer and you're just looking to figure out what to do on your lawnmower, just hang with us and follow the steps. I have over 600 videos, 200 and some educational ones that go into a lot of this stuff and more in depth. But I'm going to try to flip-flop back and forth with the video I did of it out there. And if I'm missing something, guys, speak up. But I think I'm pretty much covering everything from head to toe. You're going to want needle nose to plug the gas off to put your shutoff in. And you're going to need this to loosen the clamps that are holding the fuel filter in, or you're going to need a screwdriver to back out the clamp that's on it. So on that note, if you guys have any questions, put it in the comments, and I do respond to them. And the great thing about this channel is I'm not the only one. I'm not the resident expert. We've got plenty of people here on this channel that are very knowledgeable and willing to help you out there do it right the first time. So on that note, you guys have a great day. And again, thanks so much for watching. If you want to smash that like button for us, that'd be great. And subscribe, be super. If not, we're still thrilled to have you part of the channel. On that note, we'll catch you on the next video. Alright, so you can see I'm out here with the lawnmower. The first thing you want to do is unplug the light and take the hood right off. And make sure you set it someplace that it can't get damaged, because it's going to be right in your way the whole time. You want to drag your air hose out and also have the spray type nozzle to get in and around the deck. Make sure you wear your glasses, guys. You want that completely clean, all the dry stuff off. That's what causes a lot of problems if you're having belts come off and all your issues with the deck. It's usually right there. You're not keeping the top of your deck cleaned off, and it's got debris everywhere. We recommend that you do this every time you get done mowing. We also, like I said, we'll get the pressure washer out if the engine is real dirty, because it causes it to overheat. It just runs better in the summer if it's not getting hot. Blow everything off that you can that is dry. Right there is the nozzle where you can plug up your garden hose to it, so that you can do it every time that you get done mowing. Is just hook it up, let it run with the blades engaged and the water running, and it'll clean the inside of your deck. So when we start to look at what do we need for parts, look on the engine. That's where it's going to be. Brake could be on the valve cover. Cooler is going to be on the side of the cover. You're going to want to check air pressures in all your tires. You're going to want to check your grease fittings. They're located in the front of your spindles. Your air breather, of course. You're going to replace the oil filter, and spark plug. This is a single cylinder. Blow that out if you can. That's perfectly fine to blow out. Usually it lasts 2 or 3 years anyways. You're going to want to change the oil there. Pull that out. That's the dipstick. Treat your fuel. Every time you add fuel to it, make sure it's treated. There's your amp meter. If that doesn't work, use what we have for the Harbor Freight. Check the air pressure in the rear tires to make sure they're adequate. This is where, like underneath this deck, is terrible. These people did not take care of it. And there's a lot of that's caused from mowing the grass when the dew is still on it or if it's wet. Check your blade while you're right there.